In this video, we'll be taking a look at 4 NBA games happening on February 10, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 8 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 4 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Atlanta Hawks versus Orlando Magic. The Atlanta Hawks, who currently hold a record of 25 wins and 28 losses, are set to travel to face the Orlando Magic, who stand at 26 wins and 28 losses in a Southeast Division showdown. This game marks the first of 4 scheduled matchups between these two teams during the regular season. The Hawks are coming off a strong road victory against the Washington Wizards, where they secured a 125-111 win and covered the spread as 6.5-point favorites. On the other hand, the Magic narrowly defeated the San Antonio Spurs in a thrilling 112-111 contest, though they failed to cover as 2.5-point home favorites. The Hawks will be entering this game without Jalen Johnson, who remains sidelined, and Trae Young, who is listed as doubtful for the matchup. Similarly, the Magic will be missing key players Jalen Suggs and Moritz Wagner due to injuries. Despite the absence of Young, who has been a pivotal leader for the Hawks during their recent stretch, Atlanta is riding a wave of momentum heading into this game. In contrast, the Magic had been struggling significantly before snapping their cold streak with a hard-fought win over the Spurs in their last outing. This contest will serve as the first of 4 meetings between the Hawks and Magic this season, with subsequent matchups scheduled for February the 20th of April 8th and April 13th. As a result, there is no head-to-head data from the current season to analyze. Over their last 3 games, the Magic have posted a respectable 2-1 record straight up, while the Hawks have struggled, going just 3-9 straight up in their last 12 games. Notably, Atlanta has lost 6 of those 12 games by margins of at least 5 points. Historically, the Hawks have dominated the recent matchups against the Magic, winning 7 of the last 9 games between the two teams. Interestingly, Orlando has struggled since returning to full health, which is somewhat counterintuitive. Despite getting their starters back, the Magic have lost 7 of their last 10 games and have frequently struggled to surpass the 100-point mark. However, the Magic have been strong at home, where 16 of their 26 wins this season have come, and they are fresh off a confidence-boosting victory against the Spurs. Additionally, the Hawks' potential absence of Trae Young is a significant disadvantage for Atlanta. While I am typically hesitant to favor Orlando by nearly 2 possessions, the circumstances surrounding this game make a compelling case for the Magic. Atlanta is dealing with multiple injuries and will likely be without 2 of their top offensive players, Young and Johnson. As a result, I believe Orlando is well positioned to capitalize on the Hawks' short-handed roster and secure a victory. The Magic's defense is primed to stifle Atlanta's depleted offense, so the Orlando Magic to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full-game side pick. The Magic have developed a deliberate and methodical style of play that heavily relies on their defensive length and ability to control the tempo. They rank last in the league in scoring, but are second in points allowed, which naturally lends itself to lower scoring games. Orlando's defensive approach limits opponents' possessions, and they play at the slowest pace in the NBA. This defensive prowess will likely create significant challenges for the Hawks, particularly in the front court, where Atlanta lacks depth and scoring options. Orlando boasts several versatile defenders, all standing 6'6" or taller, who are capable of guarding multiple positions. With Trae Young unlikely to play and the Hawks missing their second and third leading scorers, Atlanta's offense is expected to struggle. Notably, the Hawks have gone under the total in each of their last 2 games. As the Magic continue to get healthier, their ability to execute their preferred style of play becomes even more effective. Orlando thrives in a slow-paced, defense-oriented game. From a statistical perspective, they rank 29th in the league in pace, averaging just 98.8 possessions per game. Defensively, they are among the best in the NBA, ranking 2nd in efficiency by allowing only 106.9 points per 100 possessions. Given Atlanta's likely absence of Trae Young, who is their primary offensive creator and scorer, I anticipate the Hawks will face significant difficulties in generating points. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Minnesota Timberwolves versus Cleveland Cavaliers. The Timberwolves are set to face off against the Cavaliers in a highly anticipated East versus West matchup. Currently, the Timberwolves hold the 6th spot in the Western Conference standings and are locked in a tight battle with the Clippers as they aim to climb higher in the rankings. On the other hand, the Cavaliers enter this game with the best record in the entire NBA, having won 2 consecutive games and 6 of their last 10. This clash promises to be an exciting contest between two teams with contrasting strengths and aspirations. In terms of player availability, the Timberwolves will once again be without Julius Randle, while Anthony Edwards and Mike Conley are listed as questionable for the game. Meanwhile, the Cavaliers continue to deal with the absence of Dean Wade and Isaac Okoro due to injuries. The last time these two teams met was on January 18th, when the Cavaliers emerged victorious with a 124-117 win. Both teams are riding waves of momentum heading into this matchup, but the Timberwolves face uncertainty with potential injuries to 2 of their key players, which could significantly impact their performance. When examining the net ratings, there is a notable disparity between the two teams. The Cavaliers currently rank 2nd in the NBA with an impressive 10 net rating, while the Timberwolves sit in 8th place with a 3.8 net rating. The offensive ratings further highlight the gap between these squads, as the Timberwolves are 13th in the league with a 114 offensive rating, whereas the Cavaliers boast the best offensive rating in the NBA at 121.7. These statistics underscore the Cavaliers' dominance on the offensive end and their overall efficiency as a team. The betting line for this game came as a surprise to me, considering the Timberwolves are a competitive team capable of holding their own on any given night. However, oddsmakers seem to be signaling that Anthony Edwards may not suit up for this matchup. If that turns out to be the case, I would lean toward favoring the Cavaliers, especially since they are playing at home. As always, it's crucial to check the injury report before placing any bets. The Cavaliers have been nearly unstoppable at home this season, boasting a remarkable 24-4 straight-up record. Additionally, they are the 3rd best team in the league against the spread, covering 63.4% of the time. Betting against the Cavaliers has been a tough proposition all season, and it becomes even more challenging if the Timberwolves are without their best player, especially with Randle and DiVincenzo already sidelined. For these reasons, I predict the Cavaliers will win by double digits on Monday night, so the Cleveland Cavaliers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Despite ranking 2nd in the league in scoring, the Cavaliers have seen a slight dip in their offensive output recently, sitting at just 12th in scoring over their last 3 games. This includes a 134-point performance against the Wizards on Friday night, which somewhat skews their recent numbers. They now face a Timberwolves team that ranks 4th in the NBA in scoring defense, making this a challenging matchup for Cleveland's offense. Furthermore, the Timberwolves play at one of the slowest paces in the league, ranking 26th, and will likely aim to control the tempo and slow the game down whenever possible. Another factor to consider is the Timberwolves' strong perimeter defense, as they rank 6th in the league in 3-point defense. While the Cavaliers are the best 3-point shooting team in the NBA, they will face significant resistance from the Timberwolves on the perimeter in this game. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. San Antonio Spurs versus Washington Wizards. On Monday night, the San Antonio Spurs are set to face off against the Washington Wizards at Capital One Arena. The Spurs currently hold a record of 22-28 and have been struggling to maintain their position in the Western Conference standings, having lost 12 of their last 16 games. Meanwhile, the Wizards continue to hold the unfortunate distinction of being the worst team in the NBA, with a dismal 9-43 record. After a brief 3-game winning streak, the Wizards have returned to their losing ways, dropping their last 2 consecutive games. The Spurs will once again be without Charles Bassey due to injury, while the Wizards will be missing Anthony Gill and Alex Sarr, who have been ruled out for this matchup. San Antonio has struggled to find consistency this season, and their recent loss to the Orlando Magic, a team that has also been struggling, was undoubtedly disappointing. As a result, the Spurs will likely view this game against the lowly Wizards as an opportunity to get back on track. While the San Antonio Spurs are clearly the more talented team and could potentially win this game comfortably, their recent form has been far from convincing. They have lost 4 of their last 5 games and have been involved in several closely contested matchups. The Spurs recently suffered losses to the Charlotte Hornets and the Orlando Magic, two teams that are not considered strong contenders. Additionally, they are still integrating a key player, Fox, into their system, which takes time. On the other hand, the Washington Wizards have been quietly putting together some decent performances, winning 3 of their last 5 games and covering the spread in 4 of those contests. In their last 5 games, the Wizards have won 33.3% of their matchups. It's also worth noting that the Spurs have a challenging game ahead against the Boston Celtics, which could impact their focus in this contest. While the Spurs have the potential to dominate against the Wizards' poor defense and secure a much-needed road victory, their recent performances make it difficult to justify them being heavily favored in this matchup. So the Washington Wizards to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. The over has hit in 8 of the last 10 games involving the San Antonio Spurs, showcasing their tendency to engage in high-scoring contests. Additionally, the over has been successful in 11 out of 16 of the Spurs' non-conference games this season. Similarly, the over has hit in 15 out of 23 of the Washington Wizards' non-conference matchups. This trend suggests that both teams are prone to participating in games with higher point totals, particularly when facing opponents from the opposite conference. The Washington Wizards rank 4th in the NBA in pace, indicating their preference for playing at a fast tempo. They also have a roster filled with capable shooters who are eager to launch shots from beyond the arc. While the Wizards lack size in their lineup, the Spurs have shown vulnerabilities in their defense, ranking 26th in mid-range defense and 18th in three-point defense. This could limit their ability to effectively challenge the Wizards' perimeter shooting and the presence of Wemby and the Spurs' big men in the paint. San Antonio, however, is also comfortable playing at a high tempo, ranking 11th in the league in pace. The Spurs should be able to take advantage of the Wizards' smaller lineup, much like the Cleveland Cavaliers did last week when they scored 58 points in the paint. Furthermore, the Wizards have the lowest-rated defense in the league and are also last in mid-range defense, which should allow the Spurs to score efficiently inside the arc. The over has hit in 26 out of 51 games involving the Washington Wizards this season, with a record of 26 to 25 to 1. When playing at home, the over has hit in 14 out of 25 games. Similarly, the over has hit in 29 out of 50 games involving the San Antonio Spurs this season, including 14 out of 23 games when the Spurs have been on the road. Both teams rank among the fastest in the league, with Washington sitting at 4th in pace and San Antonio at 13th. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Boston Celtics versus Miami Heat. The Miami Heat, who currently hold a record of 25 wins and 25 losses, are set to host the Boston Celtics with a strong record of 37 wins and 16 losses in an Eastern Conference showdown on Monday. The Celtics, who have a straight-up record of 37-16 and against the spread record of 21-31-1, are coming off a dominant victory over the New York Knicks on Saturday, winning 131-104 as three-point road favorites. Meanwhile, the Heat, with a straight-up record of 25-25 and an against the spread record of 21-29, suffered a tough loss to the Brooklyn Nets on Friday, falling 102-86 as 5-point road favorites. The Celtics will be without Jrue Holiday once again, and Jason Tatum is listed as questionable for the upcoming game. On the other side, the Heat are monitoring the status of James Jaquez Jr., who is questionable due to an illness. This matchup marks only the second time these teams have faced each other this season. In their first meeting back in December, Boston secured a 19-point victory as 9.5-point home favorites. Recently, the Celtics' offense has been in excellent form, averaging 120 points over their last 6 games. Conversely, Miami's defense has had difficulties against high-scoring teams, most notably allowing 126 points to the Cleveland Cavaliers, who rank 2nd in the league in scoring. Boston holds advantages in rebounding and ball possession, and they have been more consistent from beyond the arc compared to the Heat. Additionally, the Celtics' defense is well equipped to handle a team that relies on transition play. Boston has also been strong against the spread in recent matchups against Miami, going 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 games. Boston's offensive prowess, fueled by Jason Tatum's recent hot streak, gives them a clear advantage over Miami's struggling offense. The Celtics' ability to shoot efficiently from three-point range and their overall offensive execution should allow them to establish and maintain a comfortable lead throughout the game. Furthermore, Boston's stout defense is expected to limit Miami's scoring options, especially as the Heat continue to adapt to recent roster changes. Although the Celtics are dealing with uncertainty surrounding Tatum's availability, they still possess enough depth to overcome a Heat team that is reeling from a disappointing loss to the Nets. In recent head-to-head matchups, the Celtics have consistently outperformed the Heat, and I anticipate a similar outcome in this game. So the Boston Celtics to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The first meeting between these two teams resulted in a combined 197 points, falling short of the 220-point total and hitting the under. In that game, Miami was without Jimmy Butler, and their offense struggled significantly, much like it did in their recent loss to the Nets. The Heat have scored 108 points or fewer in 7 of their last 9 games. In terms of pace, Miami ranks 23rd in the league with 101.2 possessions per game, while Boston is slightly ahead at 22nd with 101.4 possessions per game. Although the Celtics have had some high-scoring performances recently, they have also been held to 112 points or fewer in 3 of their last 8 games. Historically, matchups between these two teams have been more defensive, with the under hitting in 4 of the last 6 games. Despite Boston's reputation for a high-powered offense, they rank only 22nd in pace, and I expect both defenses to play a significant role in this game. Miami ranks 18th in offensive rating and 27th in pace, further suggesting that this game may not turn into a high-scoring affair. Additionally, both teams are ranked in the top 10 in defensive rating, which reinforces the likelihood of a lower-scoring contest. The under has cashed in 4 of the last 6 meetings between these teams, and I expect this trend of lower-scoring games to continue. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.